Hi, everybody. Welcome back to Critical Mass. And we just got back from seeing Detective Pikachu, our first live action Pokemon story. And was it any good? I
Well, I guess we'll find out.
guess we'll find out.
Welcome to Critical Mass. Listen, why did two grown men go to see Detective Pikachu?
Because we
Well,
had nothing else to do.
I had the cards. I have the Pokemon Monopoly. I watched the cartoons. I have the DVD collection. I have every single color of Nintendo Pokemon game that you can get. But is that why I went to see Detective Pokemon? No. I went to see Ryan Reynolds. Otherwise, it's just a Pokemon movie. Ryan Reynolds is coming off two hot outings as Deadpool, and his humor is fire right now. And I wanted to see how does he mix with cute little Pikachu. And I'm happy to say it was awesome. He had all of the Ryan Reynolds Deadpool humor, and yet it still maintained that family-friendly atmosphere for the movie. He had humor, he had emotion, and it just worked.
All right, I'll give you that. Ryan Reynolds, he's fellow Canadian. I'm a pretty big fan of Ryan Reynolds, actually. I like a lot of his movies. I think he got lambasted on Green Lantern a little too much because it really wasn't his fault. I think his acting was good and it fit Detective Pikachu. We were afraid we were going to hear Deadpool in Detective Pikachu.
And frankly, we did.
We did, but it still worked. He's charming, he's very articulate, his humor comes off in subtle ways. It's not in your face slapstick humor. And there's a certain talent in that because, you're acting as a character, a cartoon character on screen. So you have to display emotion and everything in your voice for that character while you're not actually doing the acting. So he did that very well. So yeah, I'll give you that positive. Um, I also thought that the world of Pokemon that they built, when you see the Pokemon flying around in the nature, when you see the Pokemon interacting in the city, there's a Manchuk. Is that what it's called? A Manchuk, the guy with multiple arms?
I don't even know what that guy's called.
I think it's Manchuk. But he's directing traffic in the street, which, when you think about it, kind of suits a multiple armed person when they do it. They're growlers in the cartoon Pokemon. They're always police dogs, and they were police dogs in here as well. So the world was good. All the Pokemon that they did represented exactly what they do in the cartoon, which is kind of the best part of being Pokemon and the best part of the movie.
And I'll take it one step further, is within that Pokemon world, the Pokemon looked real. They looked like they were inside the world with humans. There's a scene with Mr. Mime. They're interacting with Mr. Mime as though he's another person in the scene. It's flawless. There is a gym battle of sorts with Charizard, and you believe that that battle's really happening. The physics, the atmosphere, the growling, the intensity, it's not like people are in a green screen room interacting with somebody with nodes all over them to represent the Pokemon. No, no. That dragon is inside the ring with Pikachu and the other human participants.
Yeah, the effects were really good. Um, the fight scene you were mentioning, Charizard, the effects of fire, the lightning from Pikachu, the quick attacks, all the different things that Pokemon can do, and why you would really want to go see a Pokemon movie to see all these kind of things. They did that stuff well. My problem with the movie is it was very few and far between in the movie. Instead of being a Pokemon movie, it was a murder mystery, missing person mystery in a Pokemon world, which is kind of not what we were hoping for. And I know a lot of people say, you know, don't judge a movie by based on what you hoped it would be. But the trouble is, I don't think this movie's going to satisfy the true movie buff who's interested in a murder mystery because it's too lighthearted for that kind of a story, and it's not going to appeal to the Pokemon people because it's not really a Pokemon story neither.
Yeah, I don't really know who the target audience for this is. The kids grew up with Gotta Catch 'em All Ash inside a world of light and color and action, and this movie has a lot of gloomy settings. It's partially in a bar, an underground fight ring. Uh, Part of the intro is at night when he meets Pikachu. So the kids aren't getting that dazzling assault on their senses that they're used to with the cartoon. And adults want an interesting story. But as soon as one particular character comes on screen, we turn to each other and said, bad guy. And other than a little bait and switch, the story was generic and predictable, not enough to keep adults interested in a Pokemon movie. Sorry to say.
Yeah. If you want to know who the bad guy is, you just watch the movie because it'll tell you right as soon as you meet the guy. You go, well, I guess that's the bad guy, like we said, and it's just I kind of left this film walking out going, man, they should have done the original story, the original type, going out and catching Pokemon, have that kind of story. Ash and Misty and Bronk trying to become their first Pokemon master and getting to an arena and winning the arena match. It's a whole story. You can go from different location to different location. You can have all the in one scene in here. They have the only real thing that kind of reminded me of a true Pokemon story is when they go out at the beginning to catch a Pokemon, and that was one of the best scenes in the movie. And it's literally a 60-second scene, and then you never hear about catching Pokemon anymore. You never hear about gym battles anymore. In fact, the only battle that really happens in the movie, it's that underground fight club, and it's illegal in that city. So they're kind of making it, yeah, we don't really do this, but it's such a missed opportunity.
My OCD is acting up. You said Bronk, and I'm completely
It's Bronk.
offended by that. Yes,
I
it's
said Bronk.
So, yeah, this movie could have done itself a lot of favors by following the original vision of Pokemon with venturing out and exploring and catching new ones and doing gym battles. I did like the opening with Cubone because Marowak is my favorite Pokemon of all time, and this was the pre-evolved version of that, so that was great. But the movie suffers from slow pacing.
Oh.
It takes a half an hour to get into the movie to find Pikachu, and it's just moping. Buh, 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 buh. And then they find Pikachu, and it's at night. There's no dazzling colors. And so, okay, let's get to the story and have some action. No, it's a detective movie, so there's a missing person, and there's talks with the police, and rendezvous with a reporter, just to get into an underground fight pit where it's gloomy. There's a bar setting where it's gloomy. This is not the action-adventure Pokemon that you want it to be.
No. And all the characters, like, such good actors that are in this movie, they really are. But they're wasted. Like, the characters are so generic. I think this movie suffers dramatically from writing. The script is not good. It's a story plot. It was, for lack of a better word, dull.
It's like the writers said, well, we have Ryan Reynolds, and we have fantastically loved Pikachu. Let's just throw some things in there to make a story that could have been a generic story with any other characters, and then we'll be fine.
Yeah.
And it doesn't work.
No. I left the movie feeling like, wow, I hope this doesn't ruin future possible Pokemon, because I want to see a real Pokemon movie. I don't want to see Detective Pikachu. I don't want to see the next Pokemon come out and it's the one Pokemon Snap where you're taking pictures, and the next Pokemon movie is about a photographer going around the world taking. No, Guys, if you're going to do another Pokemon movie, make it a Pokemon movie where you're capturing Pokemon, you're doing gym battles, you're meeting other Pokemon trainers along the way. That's what we want to see. That's what everyone wants to see. And it's a much more engaging story than any of this generic stuff that we just saw in this movie.
Unfortunately, this has to be an instant reboot if they want to make another movie. Nobody wants things to be rebooted because you just want the story to progress. Now we got to start from square one, because if they make anything other than Gotta Catch 'Em All movies, they're going to fail. I don't want to see a sequel to this movie.
Oh, and in fact, I come out of some movies going, all right, I can't wait to be able to rewatch this in the future. If I rewatch this, I'm skipping a good 3/4 of the movie. I'm fast forwarding it through a lot of it, and I would really have a hard time. You know what? I think I would probably put it on my computer in my room when I'm trying to fall asleep, because I'd probably fall asleep before Pikachu even shows up on screen. Should you see this movie? Well, we give it wait for Netflix. That's right, it just wasn't an engaging enough story. You don't really need to see it in theaters, so save your money and watch it on a subscription channel coming soon.
If you go to the movies with your kids expecting a fun Pokemon time, you'll be disappointed. Take them to see Ugly Dolls if they're at that age. The color, the music will probably have them more engaged than this movie.
And that's saying a lot when we're recommending Ugly Dolls over Detective Pikachu. Well, that's just our opinion. If you want to see more of our stuff, we'll get it wrong just as much as we'll get it right. Hit that subscribe button. Until next time, we'll see you at the movies.